Hello and welcome to my textbook chapter analysis for EDES 348. My name is Simya Sumana Khan. In this assignment, I have attempted to examine a chapter from a grade 7 science textbook to determine its readability for the target audience. In their article on selecting considerate content area textbook published in the Remedial and Special Education Journal 1988, Armbruster and Anderson have written that considerate content area textbooks are user-friendly, they are relatively easy to understand, read, and learn from. According to this article, a content area textbook is considered to be considerate if it is structured properly, is coherent, that is, all the components connect and come together well as a whole, and is audience appropriate. I have tried to break down my analysis accordingly, complemented by addressing the 4 questions from page 78 of Lapp, Flood and Fernand's book, Content Area Reading and Learning. The textbook I have chosen is Science Focus 7. It is government approved for grade 7 science instruction and is well synchronized with the Alberta Program of Studies for grade 7 science. The chapter under scrutiny in this assignment is Unit 2, Plants for Food and Fiber. We will start by looking at the structure first. The unit starts with an introductory opening page, which introduces the unit by posing some questions within a science, technology, and society context. This is intended to spark interest in the readers and intrigue them to read and learn further about these issues. The second section is the unit review. The unit review has a set of focusing questions which draws on what readers might already know and what they can anticipate to learn in this unit. This section has photographs and pictures with brief descriptions of what the unit encompasses. An important component of this section is the looking ahead box, which is sort of a pre-preparation towards the end of the unit project, which I will talk about later. Following the 2 introductory sections are 6 topics divided into groups of 3. Each topic is followed by a set of review questions, and at the end of every 3 topics there is a wrap-up section which outlines key terms from the topics, followed by different types of questions such as fill in the blanks, match the following, short answered questions, and mini activities for students to attempt and assess their learning and understanding of that cluster of topics. The 6 topics in this unit are as follows. The topic titles and subtitles are in large fonts and clear, distinct colors of red and blue, respectively. The body of the text is also a nice, clear, appropriate font type and size. Within each topic, there are a variety of complementary activities and information related to that particular topic. These activities and sidebar information boxes makes the reading of the chapter and learning of the content much more relevant, relatable, and thus engaging. Most importantly, it breaks down each topic into manageable chunks. For example, in topic 1, students can read pages 92 and 93 and complete the word connect activity on the sidebar. By doing so, they can connect better with what they have learned in these 2 pages, internalize the material, and then move forward to the different sections. We will now take a look at the accompanying hands-on activities that the chapter includes. There are 4 types of investigation activities. The first is problem-solving investigation. These activities require students to work in collaborative groups with the goal of designing and building models and/or certain products. For example, in topic 2, structure and adaptation, page 112, a problem-solving investigation requires the students to design a certain kind of a plant with appropriate structure and adaptation to survive in a certain environment and also be of use to the human community in that environment. The second is inquiry investigation. These are formal lab experiments following the scientific protocol of hypothesizing, carrying out experiments, observing, answering a set of focused questions, coming to a conclusive result, and further analyzing the result. The third is the think-link investigation. These are short research papers that the students have to put together based on data and information provided also from external resources. These activities are thought-provoking and encourage students to develop their opinion and ideas about current societal issues. Throughout the unit, there are also several find-out activities, which are usually short informal inquiries, require minimal materials and equipment. These can be done as demos by the teacher, or given the time and resources, students can complete them in little groups in classes. Now we will take a look at the sidebar information boxes. Almost every page has one or more of these boxes, and the most common being "Did you know?" These boxes provide interesting facts and information relevant to the information on that page. The second is "Off the Wall," which are cross-curriculum connections featuring some odd, unusual, intriguing facts or events relative to the content. The third is "Stretch Your Mind." These are mathematics-related activities focusing on creative problem-solving skills. Then we have "Pause and Reflect," which gives students to reflect upon and connect what knowledge they had before and what they have learned so far, keeping a track of the students' knowledge-building progress, sort of a self-activity. Then we have "Across Canada," which are mini biographies of Canadian scientists who have been involved in important research and development and discoveries relevant to the content covered under that topic. Additionally, there are some connect boxes, which are cross-curricular connections. There is Math Connect, Internet Connect, which encourages responsible and productive use of the internet to explore distinct topics and websites related to the content. There's Word Connect, which encourages students to look up specific words in dictionaries or encyclopedia. And then there is Career Connect, which gives students information on future career perspectives related to the content that they are currently learning. At the end of the unit, there are 3 sections that tie everything that has been learned in the entire unit. The first of that is the Ask the Expert, an interview conducted with an expert with a career in the relevant field. At the end of the interview, students have the opportunity to do an activity related to the information provided in that interview. The second of these sections is End of the Unit Project, which gives students the opportunity to work on a project in which they get to utilize, apply, and implement all that they have learned in this unit. Last but not the least is the Unit Review, which comprises of several components, the first being Unit at a Glance, which is a compilation of the most important information from the unit, followed by a combination of questions such as understanding key concepts, developing skills of designing, drawing, describing, problem solving and application-based questions, critical thinking, and analysis-based questions. We will now explore the questions from Lap, Flood, and Furnan's textbook, Content Area Reading and Learning, page 78. Question number 1. Does the text appeal to adolescent interest and engage students' multiple literacy? As I have used this textbook in my APT, from experience I would have to say that the content is interesting and engaging for grade 7 students. It contains a plethora of pictures, photographs, and diagrams, and students find the side panel information boxes very interesting. The content is easy to manage as it has those little activities in between as sort of breaks. Also, there are several cross-curricular connections that address students' multiple literacy, such as Word Connect for language art, Math Connect, and Stretch Your Mind for mathematics, and etc. The activities also break down each topic into manageable portions, which makes it easy for the students to master the content. Question number 2. Does the author foster connection to prior knowledge? Plants are a part of our everyday lives. The first topic in this unit discusses the use of plants in clothes, medicine, food, and also other uses such as paper and fuel. These are certainly some aspects the students have prior knowledge about and can also relate to. In the other topics, the chapter discusses farming, agriculture, reforestation, a career connection that gives students an opportunity to explore if they would want to have a career that deals with plants. The last unit is about pest control and sustainability. And I have to say, grade 7 students are quite keen on, quote-unquote, saving the environment. Question number 3. Is the text coherent and reference clear? Is the organization appropriate for the content learning focus? The text is coherent in that the content is divided into 6 distinct topics with multiple subheadings under each topic. I would say the organization is appropriate for content learning focus, but I would recommend that some of the sidebar information boxes be removed, as having them on every page seemed a little distracting to me. Also, there are a total of 19 find out activities in this unit. It is almost sad that I couldn't allow my students to do all of them, even if they insisted on wanting to do them due to time constraints. I would recommend that only the most relevant and important ones be kept and the others be omitted. For example, the find out activity on controlling slugs can be omitted because it is not some knowledge that grade 7 students absolutely has to have. Although all the auxiliary information are truly motivating and engaging for the students, they do take away time from mastering the actual content. So reducing those would actually benefit the students more. Question number 4. Is the language of the content area used rather than omitted for the sake of the readability level? I wouldn't say so. As I have mentioned at the very beginning, the content in this unit is well synchronized with the program of studies. As I have used this textbook in my APT, I had to coordinate the learning objectives with my lesson plans every day. Also, during my APT, I would have read-aloud sessions during which most students demonstrated a good flow in reading. Those who struggled were mostly ESL, and even then I have to say they were pretty good. In the text, they also have important terms in bold that make it easy for students to locate the information they need for answering topic review or unit review questions or to work on their projects. Also, at the end of every 3 topics in the wrap-up, there is a list of key terms that students can use to create their own glossary, which would facilitate their learning better. The language of the text, I would have to say, is age and grade appropriate. In conclusion, the content, language, and organization of this unit are age and grade appropriate. The materials of the unit are coherent in that all the components are well integrated. The unit addresses all the learning objectives for this unit from the Alberta Program of Studies for Grade 7 Science. The only recommendation I would make is to reduce the sidebar information boxes and reduce the number of find out activities. Having said that, I would consider this to be a considerate content area unit, and hence this textbook a considerate content area textbook. Thank you for attending my presentation. I will now take questions.